Hey, gun people! I'm going to talk about a couple of things that government's doing because of the storm in the name of security. Uh, the best time to question government is when they're hollering, "We need to protect you." Uh, you know, Franklin, a lot of other patriots have said throughout time, "Hey, those who give up freedoms for security will have neither." And it's never truer than our big government today. Never let a crisis go without passing some new law, some new act, some protection, something to give the government more power so they can get more people, so they can require more money and more taxes in order to keep you safe. So I'm going to discuss a couple of orders, but let's look at the size of the storm. So this hurricane here, I don't know what the hell they're calling. I think it's Irma or something. But look at the distance from here to here, and they did an overlay of a map. And let me tell you something. Texas is a pretty big state. But if you look at Texas, at the bottom of Texas, here's the top of Texas up here. And here's the bottom of Texas down here. That damn hurricane's as big as the state of Texas. It's freaking amazing. That is a big storm. It kills me how scientists can tell us that we've got global warming and they know all this. We can take pictures on the moon. We can fly to the moon. We got pictures around Mars looking at other universes and other solar systems. And we can't figure out weather. We can't predict it. I can't get a good, accurate report. It says 10% rain, it pours. It says 90% rain, and I don't get a drop. But anyway, so let's look at some of the things that are coming out that government is seizing the opportunity to seize power and control. They always go together. Okay, so this is Broward County and what they're releasing.
For all residents in Broward County, at 4 o'clock today, we will be enforcing a curfew due to the tropical storm force wind area starting 2 p.m. At 2.
Okay, how many deaf people are there? Rick, you shouldn't pick. I'm not picking on deaf people. I'm just saying to have a guy waving his arms and everything when you're trying to talk in front of you. I mean, he could be in the back. Does he really need to be in front of the speaker? And what about people in foreign languages if they have different sign language? Is sign language universal? Is he interpreting only in English? Because that's kind of unfair to the illegals that are here and, other people who maybe can't. I'm just being ignorant, liberal, stupid. Amazing. All right, let's finish watching.
2 p.m., the winds will be between 40 to 73 miles per hour. At 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., they will start to increase and will get to somewhere in the neighborhood of 74 up to 100 miles per hour. At this time.
So now we have mayors who are weather people. Now she's just reporting what the weather told her. I get it. But why is government making a curfew? I get it. They want to keep people off the streets so they can contact them if they're on the streets in case people are out there looting and stealing. I think they can contact them without having a curfew. If you got people in the middle of a storm, they're arresting people who are homeless and forcibly bringing them to, I'm going to get to that article. They're seizing guns and ammo in the Virgin Islands, and I'm going to get to that order. At what point do we need government to say, you know what, it's a storm? Why don't you worry about keeping electricity on, keeping the water running, and doing the other things and staying out of, protecting everybody and telling everybody how safe and what they need to do. Okay? If you leave it up to the liberals and you look at their logic, all we have to do is put up no hurricane signs all over the state and then they'd be safe, because that's what we do with gun signs. And we do that with no drugs around schools, and that stops the drugs, and no gun signs stops guns. Why don't we just have no criminal, no looting signs, and no hurricane signs? Because that's liberal idiot logic.
We're expecting 10 to 15 inches of rain and a storm surge of 2 to 4 feet. Broward County, we are urging you to stay off the road. Our essential personnel will not be responding to 911 calls after winds reach 45.
Okay, after winds reach 45, they're not responding to 911 calls. Now, all you gun control freaks who say that you don't need guns and only government should have guns, can you rub your two brain cells together and figure out what happens When government says you can't have guns, we'll protect you, give us all the guns. And now, because winds are reaching 45 miles an hour, they say, we ain't responding to 911 calls. You don't have a gun? Guess what? We, as the government, still have guns. We still have protection. We can do what we want when we want. You stupid sheep who gave up your guns, we ain't coming. Good luck. Welcome to liberalism. Unbelievable.
5 miles per hour. At 4 p.m., our Broward Sheriff's Office and all of our law enforcement will be working to ensure that the streets are clear and that people are sheltered safely within their homes or at shelters. We thank you in advance for...
Okay, so she ends up taking questions. Somebody asks her, what are you going to do if somebody doesn't comply with the curfew? And I get that. I guess ask that question a lot. What do you do when somebody comes to tell you a mandatory evaluation, etc.? Look, if the cops want to take everybody to jail that refuses, they don't have the manpower. Okay? It's kind of like if the government starts seizing guns, if every house they go to seize a gun, 1 or 2 officers get shot, guess what? They're going to run out of officers before people are going to run out of bullets, and they're going to stop going house to house. But Rick, the government says that if they come to your door, you should give me your gun. Okay, I'm just telling you. If government does a mandatory gun grab like they're doing and they ordered in Virgin Islands, and they come to my door and try to take my guns and my ammo, and a couple of officers get shot, I may lose and they may win in the long run because they have more people, but they're not going to the next door neighbor's house. And they're not going to go to every house in the neighborhood after that, because government never has the amount of people that they govern. You can never have more government than the people govern, because government fails. They don't produce anything. So the people need to stick together. Government doesn't want you sticking together. They don't want you thinking. They don't want you being rational and being able to critical think. So they keep you dumb. They take over the schools. They control the media. They control the information you get. They make you scared and tell you how important they are and how you need them and how they're going to protect you. And if you give up your guns, we'll protect you. And now when the winds reach 45 miles an hour, you're on your own. Simply amazing how many people can't get that concept. And here we have Miami shelters homeless against their will as Irma closes in. So we have a quota hire. I mean, I'm not sure why she has gloves on and he doesn't. Does she know something that he doesn't? I don't get it. Well, Rick, she must be racist because she's touching a black man. Yeah, okay, whatever. Liberal left will find some way to turn this into divisive. Maybe she just doesn't want to get her hands dirty and she's more germophobic or more, concerned about bloodborne pathogens, etc. Maybe this cop is like, I ain't worried about it, I ain't touching them that much. Whatever. I just find it funny that shelters and homeless people are against their will or being moved. That means forcibly. That means government power and control. That means government has enough people to go move people against their will that don't want to go in a shelter and make them go in a shelter. Why is government forcing people to protect themselves? I don't get it. People are going to say, well, some people are too stupid. Well, I get that. But that's called natural selection, and we let them weed them out. And something else that's pretty funny is, although government's telling you you can't be on the street and we're going to force you, let's look at the next article. So here we have, it's hard being here. Numerous Florida shelters are at capacity. Well, let's see. They're at capacity. People who want to save themselves, this is where liberalism just kills me. People who want to go to a shelter cannot go to a shelter. Why? Because liberal, massive control government is forcing people who don't want to go to shelter to go to shelter. So the people who want to save themselves can't. The people who don't want to save themselves has big government, nanny state, police power, government forcing them into shelters that are already full. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's like we force people to go to school that don't want to learn, and then the people who want to learn, who are in school, can't learn because the people that don't want to learn are there. Because that's liberalism, Rick. We have to be fair. We have to protect the stupid. We have to promote the ignorant. We have to lower the standard so good people have to work harder so lazy and dumb people can have more. That is liberalism, and every crisis just spells it out clearly, but nobody wants to see it. And of course, I got to put this out here because the dummy liberal left that don't want to hear anything they don't want to hear will be saying, they didn't seize guns. You gun people are always trying to say the government doesn't want your guns. Really? Wow. They just signed an order saying you could seize privately owned guns. Look, man, I'm telling you, I'm in the Virgin Islands and a hurricane's coming in and I've got livestock or animals and I can't leave, or I've got my home and I think I can ride it out because I'm self-sufficient, and you try and come and take my guns and bullets, the next headline is going to be standoff in the Virgin Islands. Man holds cops at bay, shooting and killing cops because they're trying to take his guns. And believe me, the first few people that tell the cops no, this stupid policy ends. So you go down here, and of course people are going to say it's not true. Well, they released an article of the order that actually says approved by Virgin Islands Department of Justice that they can seize guns and ammo because it's raining, because it's going to be windy and rain. Rick, it's not wind and rain. It's a hurricane. Okay. Well, there's tornadoes. There's global warming. There's hot days where the sun is cooking and people are... Should all those be reasons for government to come in and just seize guns, or to seize power, or government to come in and protect you? This is about anti-tyrannical government out of control. Oh, man, that's just so wrong. So we have lots of pictures, we have lots of fear, we have lots of destruction. Government is showing us all these pictures about the wind and the danger and people running, and should they stay or should they go, and put your left foot forward. Look, people ought to be able to control their own lives. I don't need government coming trying to save me. Okay? If I call 911, then maybe I'm asking for help. And normally when I need their help and call 911, they don't come. They're too busy. It's not important. There's other things. So those who depend on government, you know what? You get what you get. I think this pandemic of fear to make people scared and not self-sufficient and dumb down America so they can't keep themselves. You can't even cross a damn street now without bells, buzzers, somebody escorting you with a stop sign because people are too stupid to look both ways before they cross the street, and somehow people have been conditioned now. Oh, you know what? If government wants your guns and rules, and if government tells you to do something, you should always listen. Wow. Where has this country come from, the founders who fought off tyranny over the Stamp Act and T-tax, and we're in a sad shape. We're falling fast. Liberalism is a mental disorder. Wake up, people. We'll end that there.